Hi guys, it's Xenia. Welcome back to my channel. So today I have another celebrity perfume haul for you guys. This one's a pretty big one. I have like 6 perfumes here. I'm really excited to show you guys these perfumes because these are perfumes that I feel like are not really that talked about. Honestly, a couple of these I had no idea they even existed, and I didn't even know that these celebrities made perfumes. You guys have just always given me so much love on my celebrity perfume videos, and you're always requesting more. So I went out and bought a couple of these. I did find all of these in stores. I very rarely buy things online because I just don't like shopping online. So if I could get something in store, I'd rather do that. But anyways, with all that being said, let's get straight into these perfumes. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with like the most exciting one, I feel like, and I did not know this celebrity had a perfume. This is Selena Gomez's perfume. I want you guys to comment down below and let me know if you guys had any idea that Selena Gomez had a celebrity perfume, and why is it not talked about like at all. I was actually at like this random perfume kiosk. I somehow just always stumble upon these random perfume kiosks, just like trying to find like all my perfume finds, and I see behind the counter this perfume, and I see that it says Selena Gomez, and in my head I'm going like, is that like fake? Like, is that even a thing? I walk out of the store and I looked it up, and it actually turns out that yes, Selena Gomez has actually done a perfume. And I was like, what? So I literally went back and bought it, and I got the huge 3.4 fluid ounce, and this box is absolutely gigantic, and that's because it has like a pretty big like piece at the top, which I'll show you guys in a second. I will link this in the description. All of these perfumes I will link in the description. I'll put links for you guys where you can get them, probably like from Fragrance Net. Honestly, I feel like Fragrance Net has the best prices, and you know that they are like authentic perfumes. This is what this perfume looks like. It's very different, definitely a pretty like unique bottle, and the reason why it's so big is because this like top part, the cap, is like weird. It almost looks like a little bouquet of flowers, but it's like a bunch of lips. And then here's the bottle shape. It's kind of like this dress, kind of. I don't know, I don't really get the bottle, to be honest with you. It's just kind of big and bulky in my opinion. I wish it was a lot simpler. And it says Selena Gomez right here. So I love Selena Gomez. She is like one of my favorite celebrities. I feel like she's so down to earth. I love her new makeup brand, Rare Beauty. I have like almost all of her products because I'm obsessed with them. And I've actually done videos on my channel of Rare Beauty, so check those videos out. I absolutely love her. So I had a feeling I would probably really like the perfume. And I do. It's a really good perfume. It's definitely right up my alley. It's very, very sweet, super fruity, and the notes in here are absolutely delicious. So this perfume has top notes of pineapple, raspberry, peach, and orange, has middle notes of blackberry, freesia, and musk, and base notes of dark chocolate, vanilla, coconut, and amber. So honestly, the notes in here are like some of my favorite notes ever. It starts off very fruity. As you can tell, all of the top notes are like straight fruits, and there's some, you know, that delicious kind of pineapple gives it like a really like juicy, bright, and not really fresh. It's like a really, really sweet, fruity scent. And you have that blackberry in the middle. You have that dark chocolate mixed with the vanilla in the base. You have a little bit of coconut, but to be honest, I don't really pick that up in this. It's not like a tropical scent or anything like that. It just kind of gives this like a hint of, I don't know, more sweetness. And then also the amber, which is another one of my favorite notes. I'm actually going to spray this on my hand. This is really good. I'm going to be honest though, it kind of smells like Pure Seduction from Victoria's Secret. It kind of almost smells like Love Spell too, like a mixture of the two, which if you have seen my previous like Victoria's Secret videos, you know that I do not love those scents. I hate Love Spell. It's like one of my most hated scents ever. There's something about that scent that just is so nauseating to me, and this is not really them. Like, it's kind of fruity in the same way that those are fruity, but it doesn't really have that really screechy quality that like Love Spell has and even Pure Seduction. It's a lot softer, and it's a lot more like perfumey and doesn't really smell like a body spray. This one kind of reminds me of something that Escada would put out. If you are familiar with Escada scents, they're super, super fruity, fresh, kind of sweet, but very fruity. They're known to just be super fruity, and this one really strikes me as something that Escada would come out with. And I think it actually kind of smells a little bit like Miami Blossom from Escada. It's the same like super sweet, bright, fruity sweet opening as that one, and I believe Miami Blossom also has pineapple. This does kind of open up smelling a little bit like those scents, but the dry down is really, really pretty. those fruits kind of stay all throughout this and even in the dry down. But then in the dry down, you also get this bit of like dark chocolate and vanilla, which is giving this a little bit more depth, and it's not as like bright and fruity and airy as those top notes. As I said, they still stay here even in the base, but it's mixed really, really nicely with the chocolate note, the vanilla, the amber, and it gives us more of like a perfumey quality to it, more so sexy. It's a really feminine perfume. It smells very, very girly and sweet to me, and it's definitely like reminiscent of a celebrity scent. There's nothing in here that is like super striking and unique. You still have this celebrity vibe. It smells very berry-like, which I love because I love berry notes. I think they're so delicious, and they just give this like really sweet fruity vibe, but it's not like in an airy kind of way. This, in my opinion, is just a fruit bomb of a perfume. If you love fruity scents, this is going to be the one for you. Like fruity sweet, this is it. But don't think of this as like an airy, fruity, fresh kind of scent, because it's not. It's a lot sweeter than you would think. Like very, very fruity sweet, mixed with vanilla, mixed with a little bit of chocolate, like super, super deep and fruity, not like airy, fresh fruity, which honestly I love a lot more, because I am not a huge fan of like airy, fruity kind of scents, because I do feel like they just kind of disappear off the skin in like a max an hour, and this one honestly kind of lingers on, which is really good. But in the opening, not really smelling it out of the bottle, but in the first like opening when you first spray this, you do get a little bit of a hint of like Pure Seduction Love Spell kind of a scent. If you like those scents, you would love this, but even if you don't, you'd still like this because it is mixed with the chocolate and the vanilla notes, and it's just making this a lot deeper and not really as, I guess, body spray like those scents. And as I mentioned, coming from somebody that is absolutely like the biggest hater of Love Spell ever, I really still love this scent and enjoy it. And it's definitely like a day-to-day, everyday kind of scent, something you can wear to breakfast, lunch, not really like a deep, sexy date night kind of a scent. I mean, you can wear this whenever, it doesn't really matter, but it's more so like every day, if I could kind of put like an occasion to it, just for the sake of explaining. If you love fruity scents, if you love sweet scents, chocolatey, vanilla, just more so on the sweeter side, you are really, really going to love this, and you can find this for very, very cheap online. It's a perfume that has been out for a long time, so you can definitely get a good deal on this if you want it. So yeah, that is the Selena Gomez perfume. I think it's just called Selena Gomez, yeah, and it is an eau de parfum. Next up, we're gonna go to a couple Britney Spears fragrances that I bought. So I'm always at Ross just checking out new fragrances. I go there like pretty often just to see if anything new has popped up. I feel like Ross, every once in a while, they pop up with these fantasy flankers. The most recent one that I bought was Fantasy, the intimate version, the one that looks like this, and I actually did a full like video dedicated to that perfume, so go and check that out if you want to. I will link it here. But I was there recently and I saw that they had yet another fantasy flanker, and this is for Glitter Fantasy. So this was again a perfume I had no idea existed. I know that the Fantasy line is absolutely humongous. Like, she has come out with so many flankers for Fantasy, but I'm not really too familiar with them. So when this one popped up, I was like, yes, I'm gonna go definitely get that, because I feel like now I'm just collecting all of Fantasy's flankers. So if they tend to pop up, I usually grab it. These are the 3 that I have in my collection right now, so this will be my 4th one. So we have the original Fantasy, Midnight Fantasy, and Intimate Fantasy, and now I have Glitter Fantasy. So as far as this perfume, I'm going to kind of compare it to the original as well, but this one I love. I think it's so pretty. Of course, it still has the Fantasy DNA in this. You can definitely smell that, but it's a little bit more fruity. I feel like the original Fantasy has this sort of tart quality to it. Like, it is sweet, they're all very sweet, but this one is more so bright, more fruity. It's not very citrusy. I feel like the original Fantasy just kind of is a little tart, in my opinion. This one has some really gorgeous fruits that I absolutely love in it, and although it smells like the Fantasy line, the notes that are specifically in this one I think just makes this so good. So far, this is my favorite Fantasy that I have tried out of the ones that I own, as you guys just saw. So yeah, there's something really, really good about this, and this one is a little 1 ounce bottle. I think it was like literally like 10 bucks at Ross. It was so inexpensive, so I had to pick it up. Oh god, oh god. As far as the notes in here, the top notes, there's red fruits and plum, which are some really delicious top notes. And then you have middle notes of heliotrope, violet, and lotus, and base notes of musk, benzoin, and oud, which is actually pretty unique for a celebrity scent. Oud is actually a pretty expensive note that is mostly in like high-end perfumes. I don't think that there's many celebrity fragrances that have oud in them, and this one does, but to be honest with you, I don't really smell the oud in here. This one opens up with those fruits. It's a lot more bright and fruity, but fruity sweet, whereas the original Fantasy kind of opens up fruity tart, and that is honestly something that I don't love in the original. Whereas this one is just sweet. There's no tartness to it at all. This smells like a sweet, yummy, like strawberry candy of some sort. It can definitely smell like a pretty prominent strawberry note in here. I know it says red berries, but I feel like strawberry is definitely like one of the notes that is in here. There's nothing sour, tart about it at all. It's just sweet. I feel like we're starting off with some really fruity, like bright fruity fragrances. So many of you guys have recommended me so many other fantasies to try, so maybe I'll order them online, or I'll just wait until more of them keep popping up in Ross or Burlington and all of like the discount stores that I have around me. So yeah, but this is my newest fantasy and my most favorite at the moment. If you love a sweet strawberry candy like scent, go and check this one out. It's really good, and again, you can find this for very inexpensive. I will list the cheapest price that you can find this online in the description. Okay, so I have another Britney Spears perfume. This is Britney Spears Believe. I actually already talked about this in my top 10 affordable perfumes. I think that's what it's called. I don't remember the title specifically. I will link it up here. You guys loved that video, so I'm sure a lot of you guys probably already saw this perfume, but I'm going to speak about it just briefly in this video because it is a newer perfume for me. So this is what Believe looks like. This is absolutely incredible. This does not smell like a celebrity fragrance, and it definitely doesn't smell like a perfume that Britney Spears has come out with. This is her most original, her most expensive smelling. Like, it smells like something Gucci would come out with. If you want to hear like a more elaborate description of this perfume, definitely go check out that video because I do talk a lot more in depth about it. But this is so good. In the comments, all of you that had tried this perfume said that it was like the most amazing perfume ever and you loved it. You always get compliments on it. This is a pretty heavy fruit patchouli. The patchouli in here is very prominent. And trust me when I say I hate patchouli, but there's something in here that the way that it mixes with your skin, the patchouli is very overpowered by the bright fruity notes that this has. This has a very prominent guava note, and that really overshadows that patchouli. And although it is here, like in the background, like you can smell it all throughout, it's not dirty patchouli. It's very, I don't know how to explain it. It's a very fruity patchouli. Again, like fruit patchouli, but in the best way possible. There's a lot of fruit patchouli perfumes that I absolutely hate because the patchouli just dominates all of the fruits. And this is a rare case where it's a patchouli perfume, it's a fruit patchouli, but the patchouli is dominated by the other notes. So this has top notes of guava and tangerine. It has middle notes of lime blossom and honeysuckle, and base notes of patchouli, praline, and amber. This has been compared to perfumes like Gucci by Gucci, Eau de Parfum, which has been discontinued now, so it's pretty hard to find. And then also Bottega Veneta, which again, it's compared to some very high-end fragrances because it smells very high end, and I just love that about it. It's sweet and delicious. It's not cloying sweet, it's not a gourmand type sweet, but there is a sweetness to it, again coming from those fruit. It's a little bit more fresh, but I'm always kind of weary of using that term because I feel like whenever I say fresh, I think of, like, in my head, when I say fresh fragrance, I think of like a really boring, fresh laundry type scent, and this is like not that at all. This is so complex and delicious, and it's very hard to explain, so really just try to get your hands on this perfume and smell it for yourself and let me know. But I can assure you that I and so many other people absolutely love this perfume for a reason. So definitely check out Believe by Britney Spears. Okay, so moving on from the Britney Spears perfumes, I have two new Jlo fragrances that I have added to my collection. So as a lot of you may know, if you are viewers of my channel, one of my all-time favorite perfumes of life is Jlo Miami Glow. I could bathe in that perfume and smell like it for the rest of my life. It is just a top tier fragrance. There's just something about it. I've talked about it in so many of my videos. I also included that in my recent like top 10 cheapy perfumes that you need video. So go check that out if you want to hear more about it, if you're interested in that fragrance. But my newest collection to the Glow line is the original Glow. I already knew what this perfume smelled like because I've always smelled it. I think my aunt used to have this, and I think even my mom might have had this in the past. It was a very, very popular perfume, and it's a perfume that always kind of brought back memories because of that reason. So I decided to pick it up. I found it at like Burlington. Honestly, I feel like this perfume has been out for so long, but it kind of just is always lurking in those stores. So it's definitely an easy perfume to find and store if you're trying to look for it. But this is basically like what started it all. This is what started all of the other Glow flankers that came following this one. I actually picked up another flanker. I actually bought it online, which is like a huge shocker for me because I do not shop online. But it was a fragrance where I feel like it just was not gonna pop up in stores. So I was like, let me just bite the bullet and buy it online because so many of you guys were recommending that perfume, and that is Jlo Glow Night. Is it night or like dark or something like that? It looks like this. And you guys were like, literally I got so many comments of you guys telling me to go and try that one out. So I had to just order it. And as soon as that perfume arrives, I will definitely do a video about it. But this one, this is the original Glow. Now this one is kind of like hit or miss. A lot of people love this. There's a pretty big following to this. And then a lot of people also don't love this. If you love soapy scents, this is like a soapy scent lover's dream. This is so soapy. Some people have even compared this to like the Dove soap, like the original Dove soap, that it smells very similar to it. And honestly, like, yes, like it really does. And don't get me wrong, I really love that soap, but I'm not a person where I like to smell like soap because I just feel like that defeats the purpose of a perfume. But I'm gonna admit, this is really nice. It's very fresh. This is like you just hopped out of the shower, spray this on, and you're gonna smell very fresh, very clean. This is not too like complex. It's definitely like an out the shower type of scent. It has top notes of neroli, orange blossom, and grapefruit. It have middle notes of jasmine, rose, and tuberose, and base notes of musk, sandalwood, orris root, vanilla, and amber. It has those vanilla and amber notes, but to be honest with you, I kind of smell them in the dry down, but mostly I smell a lot of white florals in here because there's a lot of white florals in here. Honestly, for a soapy, fresh, clean fragrance, I actually do like it. Weirdly enough, I don't know if that's just because I have so many memories like attached to this perfume, or if I just like the scents like just because I like the scent, but I think it's a combination of both. If you like a fresh, clean, kind of soapy, very floral type of scent, then try this one out. But if you're not a huge lover of all of those things that I just mentioned, maybe don't go for this one. If you want to smell like the original Dove soap, like the white bar Dove soap, then this is pretty much that in like a bottle. So you can smell like that like all day. Like if you find yourself using that in the shower and you're like, oh my gosh, this smells so good, I wish I could always smell like this. Well, you can. It's a good fragrance. I do recommend it for those of you that like the cleaner, soapier, like out the shower, no fuss kind of fragrances. Definitely try out Glow. And there is a big following to this fragrance. This is a lot of people's like signature scents. So if you're into that, definitely check it out. So that is Glow by Jlo. I have sprayed on so many perfumes, but the top one, and that is just lingering and that is just overpowering all the other perfumes I have on me right now, is that Selena Gomez perfume. Like it's just really good, and it's just not leaving my skin. I've sprayed so many perfumes in the air and that's all I can smell. Okay, so then I have another Jlo perfume. So this is Liv by Jlo. This is another perfume that I didn't know that existed, but she has actually come out with a lot of perfumes, and this is what this bottle looks like. This does not look to me like something that Jlo would come out with. This looks like a kid's toy. Just being completely real, this looks so cheap and tacky and just not elegant or cute or anything. I really hate this packaging. But the scent is actually really good. So I feel like all celebrities kind of have their niche in perfumes. Like Ariana Grande's are like very sweet, candy-like, marshmallowy, ooey gooey, like just sweet and girly. You have Britney Spears, which also has very sweet perfumes, kind of like in a different way from Ariana Grande's though. They're more fruity. And I feel like Jlo's scent preference is more so on the cleaner, soapy, elegant, kind of mature side. I don't really find her scents to be sweet. All of her scents, like, they're really good, but I feel like all of her scents kind of have the same vibe of just being very mature in a good way, very soapy, clean, fresh, no fuss. A lot of them are more complex than others, but all in all, I feel like all of her perfumes kind of fall into that category. And this one is again the same. I bought this thinking it was going to be a lot sweeter than it turned out to be, because this actually has a lot of like really bright fruity notes in it. And it also has caramel. I was expecting this to be sweet, but it's not that at all. So this perfume opens up with pineapple, Sicilian lemon, and Italian orange. Middle notes of red currant blossom, peony, and violet, and base notes of caramel, sandalwood, tonka bean, and vanilla. This is good, don't get me wrong. I actually really like this. And there is a sweetness to it, but not a sweetness that you would think based off of those notes. It's kind of misleading in a way. It does open up pretty citrusy with the Sicilian lemon, the orange. I could definitely smell those. And it does have this like hint of pineapple-y sweetness to it as well. I don't really smell much of the middle notes. And I do not smell any form of caramel in this perfume, like, at all. Maybe like a smidge of tonka bean, a smidge of vanilla. I can smell a little bit of sandalwood. This almost smells a little like unisex to me or something. It's really good though. When I first bought this and I went into my car and I ripped it open and smelled it, I was like it was kind of boring. But then I wore it and it kind of just developed really nicely throughout the day on my skin, and I did end up really liking it, which I was not expecting to. And this one, despite those sweet notes, again, is still soapy to me. But this one is a little bit more wearable. I would say it's not as soapy as Take Glow. I would definitely say I like this one more than Glow, because Glow is just straight up like soap in a perfume bottle, whereas this one is soapy, but it also has like a perfumey quality to it. It's a really lovely, like, fresh, summery, everyday type of scent, like daily. There's nothing like sexy or deep and mysterious about it, but there is a really likable quality to it. I'm looking at some of the reviews on Fragrantica, and somebody said that this kind of smells like a Caress soap, and honestly, it really, really does. Caress is kind of known for making really perfumey smelling body washes. One of my favorite Caress body washes is the Twilight Mist. What's it called? I think it's called Twilight Woods, Twilight Mist or something. It's in like a purple bottle. It looks like this, and I don't know why, but this doesn't really smell exactly like it, but it's giving me like a little bit of a vibe to that one. So if you've smelled that body wash, this kind of smells similar to it. Honestly, I wish that they had a perfume of this body wash because it's top tier. Like, it literally smells so good and it smells sexy. It's very like, there's something very, very sexy about it. This one is not really sexy, but it's giving me like a hint of that perfume, and I wouldn't have thought about that if I hadn't read this comment of this girl that is saying that it kind of smells like a Caress body wash, because it really does. I mean, am I blown away by this? Not really. Do I love the bottle? No, but it's a nice scent. So yeah, that is Liv by Jlo. So the very last perfume that I have is Rogue by Rihanna. So I did also mention this in my cheap fragrances that smell expensive video, and this one is definitely one that smells very expensive. This is definitely something that not a lot of people will like. This is very polarizing, and that's because it's super unique. It's unlike any celebrity fragrance you have ever smelled, and that is just something that Rihanna, I feel like, is known for doing. Most celebrity scents kind of fall into like this same category of just being really sweet and crowd pleaser type of scents. They're very like mass appealing, whereas I feel like Rihanna's scents are very, I don't know, they're more so unique. They almost smell like designer fragrances. They don't really have a very strong like celebrity perfume quality to them. They actually smell like high-end designer perfumes, and this one is no different. This one smells really good. I picked this up at Burlington. It was like 15 bucks, and I did talk about this more in depth in that video, so check that one out if you want to hear more about it, but I'm just going to briefly describe it in this one as well. This one is very similar to Gucci Rush, which I have right here. Gucci Rush is like a very leathery, plasticky kind of smell. It's kind of like bitter and sweet. It's very, very unique. It's a scent that it's not really, it can't be explained. You just have to smell for yourself. This one has that sort of leathery quality to it as well, and that's because this has a very prominent suede note in here, which is very unique for a perfume, especially a celebrity perfume for that matter, because it's a note that is used in more so high-end, more like niche fragrances. The top notes in here are lemon blossom and cyclamen, middle notes of suede, plum, rose, and jasmine, and base notes of patchouli, vanilla, musk, woody notes, and amber. If you have ever wanted to buy Gucci Rush, just buy this one because they literally smell identical to me, so you don't need to spend the money on Gucci Rush. You can just get this for like 15 bucks. It's very inexpensive, and this is like a 2.5 bottle. It'll last me for a long time because it's not really an everyday type of scent. It's more of a dark, going out, maybe like clubbing type of scent. It's pretty sexy. It's very unique. It just smells like a sexy night out. It's very hard to describe. It kind of smells like the same as Gucci Rush, where it's like that plasticky smell. It's kind of like sweet and spicy and leathery all at the same time. Because I feel like it's only 15 bucks, I feel like it's a pretty good blind buy. It's not exactly a safe blind buy because you may like it, you may not. Honestly, I wouldn't even put this in a category of celebrity fragrances. Like, if I was blindfolded and somebody was making me smell this, this would be the last perfume I would say would be a celebrity scent, because it smells very high-end. And I definitely recommend checking this one out if you love more original, sweet, darker, deeper, woody, leathery, spicy kind of scents. This is not for the weak of heart. So if you are somebody that likes those types of scents, definitely give this one a try. I think you might really like it. And definitely let me know if you have that perfume or have smelled it for yourself in the comments, what you think about it. I know in that video when I included, it was kind of like 50-50. Some people said that like they loved it so much, and then some people said that it was just a horrible perfume. So I don't know, it's kind of hit or miss. You may love it, you may not. I feel like I kind of fall in the middle. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of it, but I don't hate it. So I don't know, I definitely need to wear it more to kind of get to know it more, see how it develops more so on the skin. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys liked this one. Let me know which of these scents you have smelled. If you like any of these, if you don't like any of these, please let me know in the comments. I love reading your replies. But that is it for me today. Leave me any requests for any videos that you would want me to do in the future. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and turn your post notifications on so you can be notified when I post next. But that is it for me today. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.